Welcome to Health for Life, your trusted source for health and wellness insights, proudly presented by Vitruvian Health, the comprehensive healthcare system serving Northwest Georgia and Southern Tennessee with leading entities like Hamilton Medical Center and Bradley Medical Center. We're dedicated to keeping our communities healthy and thriving.
Welcome to Health for Life. Today we're talking with Brian Smith, lead golf instructor and master fitter of the Golf Lab at Hamilton Spine Health and Sport in Dalton. Brian has over 18 years of experience in golf instruction and athletic development. A former collegiate baseball player at Lee University, Brian has since built a reputation as one of the region's premier golf coaches and equipment fitting experts. Brian is a multi-year recipient of the Top 100 Golf Club Fitter Award and holds multiple certifications in golf-specific biomechanics, movement analysis, and mental performance. As a certified mental game coach, Brian takes a holistic approach to instruction, combining physical mechanics, mindset, and equipment optimization to help golfers reach their full potential. Brian, thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
What makes the Golf Lab so different from any other facilities in our area?
That's a great question. Well, what we've actually done is completely remodeled it, so people need to know that even if you didn't know we existed, we've completely remodeled it. We've spent the last 9 months working on this new remodel. Now, we're still in the same spot we used to be, which is inside the Bradley Wellness Center. And being a part of the Hamilton actual umbrella, I want people to know that, man, it's amazing now. What we have here is a state-of-the-art putting simulator called Tour Putt. And we're going to dig into this in a little bit, but along with the Tour Putt, we have two brand new simulators with a lot of different technology, from swing analysis technology and also launch spotter technology, along with all of our major golf brands. So what is it different? Well, it's indoors, so it's always 72-degree weather, which is fantastic.
That's a good point right there.
Right? So you won't sweat much, but it's a very nice big room. It's about 4,000 square foot room. And you come in here for what I call the serious golfer. That doesn't mean that you have to be a great golfer. You're just serious about getting better, right? If you're coming in here by appointment, you're saying, look, I want to get better. And a lot of times an indoor setting works really, really good because it's not intimidating out on a driving range with your buddies, or someone may see you're not really sure. But here we're focused on, okay, we do a full assessment, and now we can start to break down what problems can we fix. If that's your golf equipment, if it's your putting, what have you.
Well, that's really cool, and that's a good facility just for improving your golf playing. If you're a golfer, I mean, this is the golfer's dream right here. And you mentioned that whole Tour Putt technology. What exactly is that?
Yeah, it's a great question. Okay, so most people are familiar with a simulator because it came out kind of to the masses in 2004, 5, 6, right? Oh, wow, simulators, what is this? And down in the South, we're like, we don't need a simulator, we play year-round. But now we're starting to see as a simulator is kind of like, oh, I've done that before. Yeah, I've gotten fit, or I've gotten a lesson in a simulator. What we have now in our second or third generation of the same type technology, but it's on a putting green. So think putting simulator. We have projectors projecting down onto the green with a sensor that tracks the golf ball. So now we know what the speed of the golf ball is, how to train, let's call it how to read a green, tempo, what is the ball doing? I can do putter fittings. When you see all of this unfold right there on the putting green, you're like, what? The ball's doing that? The read is that? Are you kidding me? No way. So what we do is we're starting to get our perceptions to match reality. Because a lot of times our truths come out of our perceptions, right? So we're like, I think the ball does this, when really it doesn't. And we start to show how that happens and unfolds. So it's a learning opportunity. So we're super, super excited. It's called Tour Putt, and we're excited to be able to bring it to the community.
Well, that is, extremely advanced. You were saying it's changed so much over time. Is this how much has it changed overall compared to when it first came around?
Yeah, first time they had a lot of moving parts. You might, your listeners might, and including myself, I saw it on TV. We got this whole green that's kind of moving. And although that's really cool, it's really difficult to keep that accurate from day to day. Well, this company used to have that, and they said, no, wait a second. If we figure out an engineering way to keep that surface kind of flat but on a constant slope, you can now work uphill, downhill, side hill, and everything in between, and you will hit every different type of putt that you need. And you're like, no, it's a flat. No, it's not, because if we're on a side hill flat lie and it curves right to left and it's slightly downhill and uphill, you have all of what you need on multiple putts. So this is going to cover roughly about 95% of the type of putts you would have inside of 10 feet. We do have a spot we call the tour putt ground, and that is an undulated built in, but it doesn't move. So what I'm getting to your answer or your question is that they have gotten a lot more consistent. So now the green speed rolling about basically 11 on the stent meter, which is anywhere from 10 to 12 we see here in this local community, depending upon the conditions or the seasonality of the greens. I wanted to find a speed that we could train on that most people are used to in their greens, if that makes sense.
Oh yeah, and like I've never been in one of these facilities or like actually tried this out. How does this actually, help train and improve your golfing skills?
So think about it this way. If you go on a putting green, you have no data at all. All you're doing is you're looking at the topography of the green, you're taking an educated guess. If you take a practice stroke, which most golfers don't, they should, but they don't. And okay, fine. I'm not going to argue the point. I'm going to ask you, why don't you? You need to do some type of rehearsal. But here's your scenario, right? And then you take a guess and you putt it. You're either high or low on the read. You're either short or long. And then you see that first one go by and you're like, wow, I must have misread that. Or, whoa, that's too fast. This machine will tell you the science or data behind what really just happened, along with just the result. Oh, yeah, I can tell, Brian, I hit it too far. Yeah, but why? And so with my eye, in conjunction with this, don't get me wrong, we're not just talking about some AI that spits out some kind of, hey, your problem is X. It's me using this software or this technology to help better understand what's really happening. Do you have a stroke issue? Do you have a timing issue, a timing and rhythm issue? Do you have an aim issue? Do you have a read issue? You put all four of those components together and we have science and data behind it. We now start to go, oh my gosh, I'm aiming too low. And my speed control is off because I actually aim too far to the right. And now I've got to cut across it to try to get it back online. That's just an example, right?
What kind of progress should somebody expect to see like while they're doing this? Like, do they have, very fast improvements, or is it like an eventual growth? Does it depend on the person?
Yeah, it depends. And what level, right? What questions do they have? I think your beginner golfer, your novice golfer, is going to be overwhelming. Like, oh my gosh, I didn't know that. And almost too much, right? Your middle of the way and your better golfer, they might go, wow, it's that simple? Because they have a lot of the prerequisites they need to be good putters, but they just can't figure out what's going on. That's why a lot of your better players will hop around to different putters. They're trying to find a solution to a problem that they're not really able to identify yet. They think they have it. And so if they come to the golf lab, we're going to work together and we're going to hopefully identify what those problems really are. And then we can create a plan to start fixing them. Because if we don't already know this, your listeners definitely know, if they're golfers, the fastest way to improve your quote-unquote golf score or your handicap is with putting.
How do people react when they actually try this for the first time?
They're blown away, just like I was. When I started research, if we wanted to go this route, I really just thought long and hard, what's the quickest, more efficient way to help golfers get better? And it's short game. Well, it's hard to really work on lots and lots of different shots inside in wedges, unless you're hitting into the simulator. Although we do some wedge fitting inside the simulator. It was resounding, let's do putting, because it can be replicated indoors. The answer to your question is they're overwhelmed, just like I was. And almost to the point where I almost didn't ask my bosses in Hamilton to say, can we do this? Because I was like, I want to make sure this is simple. Although it is complex, can we describe it in a simple way? And the answer is, yeah, that's why I went forward with it.
What kind of tech is like behind this whole thing?
I'm not 100% sure everything, but I do know it's a lot like the original TrackMan flight scope type technology. It's high-speed cameras that are tracking this golf ball using AI and algorithms and machine learning to consistently track this ball. Now, here's what's cool. This is why I went with this company, Tour Putt Circles, which is kind of what we're talking about with this incline slope that we talked about. Every one of the ones that they have built across the world are exactly built the same way. So as the AI in the system learns, it shoots it out to everyone else so that the overall system's getting smarter, which is great. Now, obviously, if you screw up your putting green, your synthetic turf, that can screw things up, and you would have to call them in to kind of recalibrate. But we protect our putting green pretty good. Yeah. So hope I answer your question. And we'll talk about this in a different segment, but when we have members that come in, which we haven't launched our membership yet, but we will. You're going to be able to have your own login, and you're going to be able to scan your login into the system, and you're like, okay, it's time to get to work. And so you get to work, and then it remembers all that you did from 2 years ago, 5 weeks ago, yesterday. And then I can come in with that golfer and I can say, okay, this was the analysis part. Now go over to the ground side, which is the built-in undulation, and I can put that and build a personal plan for them to work on. So let's say they have a tempo issue. So I can build every one of those holes where they're working on their tempo and their start line, and they can see that ball running through that filter and go, oh my gosh, I'm making putts, I'm building confidence, and I know I'm on time or I'm in rhythm.
Is this something that you think somebody who's like just starting could benefit from?
Sure. It's actually kind of cool. So they're going to be like, whoa, I got to come see this thing. The good news is I'm not here just to get you excited. I'm going to take the excitement, I'm going to curve it, and we're going to get into some practical things that they need to work on. Hey, you need to work on grip, stance, ball position, the action of actually a putting stroke before we worry about how good you are at putting it in the hole. So yes, I will be able to show them all the cool stuff in the future. Hey, this is you in the future. But right now, you're too wristy, or you don't even have a good enough grip yet, or your ball position's all over the place. We'll focus on the basics. And once those basics become really consistent, then we can start to have a prediction of what that ball should be doing. And then that's when we'll implement tracking the golf ball on the putting green. Okay, you've got a good stroke now. You're consistent. Let's see if you're reading the green correctly. Let's see if your speed control is just a little bit off. That's the fine tuning that when you go from beginner to novice, I'm just using labels here, right? A little bit better, a little bit better, a little bit better, to the point where you're like, dang, I'm a pretty darn good putter. Yeah. And then that's what the whole goal for this was to build confidence built on true, real data. So I can be really super confident that I'm a putter and make nothing, but eventually that's going to die off because I'm not making anything. But I'm a great putter. Okay, I can lie to myself over and over and over. That's called, really good mentality. But at some point, I got to start seeing putts go in the hole.
And with people who start practicing in the golf lab and, actually, come in often, is there a recommended, schedule? And like, how often should they practice to actually see some results?
That's a good question. I've been asked this a lot. I think you've got to at least touch it once a week, maybe twice a week. You got to put some effort in that. You have to put in the work. The cool thing about the way we set this up is for eventually, we talked about for members, is for people to come in and just essentially come in, swipe the card, hey, I'm in, get some work in, 5, 10, 15 minutes, 30 minutes, they're out. You can do this before you go to the golf course. You can do it after a bad golf round.
Yeah.
Let me go in and we'll see what's going on. And it's not a lesson if you remember at the time. You're just coming in working on your game because we have already achieved that lesson or that assessment at that point, right? So you already know what to work on. Now you're just putting in the work. You just need to do it. I don't know if I put a number on it because you can't sit there and go, oh yeah, this was a great lesson, and 4 months later go, I'm not getting better, but you didn't put in the work. But I think we've made it kind of cool for people to go, hey, you know what? It's 72 degrees weather in here, and I can get in and out. This is cool.
You definitely can't beat it. I mean, you mentioned, different ways that they can apply this. I think it would be a perfect, warm-up before they go to the actual course.
Absolutely.
Like that is a really good reason to use it.
You hit the nail right on the head. We want people to walk in, get their work in, within an hour, get out of here. And work in, which we'll talk about later, is not just the putting. Right? We're talking about the putting right now. They can also, these members will be able to go to the simulator and work on their swing as well. And there's data on that we'll talk about later. So it's not just come in for putting only. It's come in and work on your game.
Yes.
And with our personalized app, you can sit there and book your time. It's great.
Thank you for coming on to Health for Life and joining us today. It's been really good speaking with you.
Well, I appreciate that.
What's the best way for people to, get into contact and just to learn more about the Golf Lab? 3
ways. Our website is golflab.pro. That's Pro. Also, you can call us at 706-529-3662. We just got a personalized app finished on the App Store with Apple and on Google Play Store, and it's called The Golf Lab. You'll have to look for the Vitruvian name or the Vitruvian logo just to kind of and say, oh, it's Golf Lab. There's a couple of different apps that are called Golf Lab, so don't let that get confused. But most people in the community know what the Vitruvian man looks like. Click on it. You'll create a little login, and now you have personal access to all of our services and everything we do at the Golf Lab, period. That's the easiest way to get a hold of us, those 3 ways.
Well, thank you, Brian, once again for joining us today.
Thank you. This has been great.
This program in no way seeks to diagnose or treat illness or to replace professional medical care. Please see your healthcare provider if you have a health problem.
Thank you for listening to Health for Life, a presentation of Vitruvian Health, formerly Hamilton Healthcare System.